So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, Germanium, good afternoon one more time. So, we will be starting now the discussion. And the topic that I'm going to discuss to you is about the functions. Okay, so during the orientation, I already told you what will be the first topic that we will be discussing, and that is about the basic concepts of functions. Okay, for today's lesson, I'm going to discuss to you what is a function, what is a relation, okay, what is a vertical line test, kung ano ba yung mga gagamitin natin to prove that the equation, the ordered pairs, the graph is a function. Okay, before we proceed on the next topic, and that will be on Wednesday. Okay. So, pag sinabi nating function, pag sinabi nating relation, okay, mamaya pa pala yun, maglalaro pala muna tayo. Okay, so before we start everyone the discussion, meron lang po tayong konting, ano lang, pang work up lang. So, if you have a calculator with you, it's better. If you don't have, please grab your calculator kasi kailangan po natin siya for this activity. Okay, so this activity called the SABME-in. So, isa-substitute nyo lang po lahat po ng value ng letters po na ibibigay ko po sa inyo. So, teacher will give you a word and then hahanapin nyo lang po yung mga corresponding number lang po nila. Then, after po ninyo makita, ang gagawin nyo po is you're going to get the summation of those number. Okay? For example, si teacher nagbigay ng word na love. Okay, so hahanapin nyo lang po dyan kung anong number yung kay L, which is 12, kay O is 15, kay V is 22, then kay E is 5. Then after nyo malaman kung ano po yung mga corresponding number, okay, i-add lang po natin siya and that will be the answer, or that will be the sum of the word. Okay? So, I think all of us is ready. So, let's start with the first word. Okay? If you want, by the way, wala kasi akong gamit na phone ngayon. So, I want you to open your microphone kapag po magsasagot po tayo. Okay? Wala kasi akong pang backup na lowbat yung phone ko. So, again, kapag mag-answer po tayo, pa-open na lang po ng microphone po. Or kung hindi naman, pa-type na lang po. Okay, yung answer ninyo dun sa chat box. Okay, so the first word is knowledge. So what is the answer for knowledge? So be precise on the numbers pa dun sa pagsasubstitute ninyo para po wala pong mali once po na pinag-add na po natin silang lahat.
Ninety-six, sir.
Okay, 96. Thank you, Urbano. Okay, wait lang natin yung iba. Baka meron pang ibang answer. Okay, Yvonne Shira says it's 96. Okay. So let's see if the answer is 96. Okay, so for the word knowledge, the summation of the number is 96. So, sa substitute lang natin, then i-add. Okay, so ganun lang ulit yung gagawin. How about for this word? Hard word. Paano naman po sa word na hard word? So still the same process. You will get the corresponding number for each letter, then add nyo po yun lahat. Okay, Trixie Urbano says it's 98. Okay, Yvonne says it's 98 also. Okay, Bernardino Hardian, it's 98. So let's see if the answer is 98. Okay, very good everyone that the summation for the word hard work is 98. So ganun lang po yung gagawin natin dito kay function. Kasi po pag sinabi po nating function, this is like a machine na kung saan once we input data or once we input numbers, meron po silang mga corresponding answers or corresponding output. Okay? So, si relation naman, pag sinabi nating relation, this is just the relationship between the sets. Okay? Sir, ano yung sets na yon? So, later on po, magbibigay po si teacher ng example kung ano po yung mga sets na pwede po natin gamitin. Okay, but in short, the sets that I'm talking about is the X and the Y. Okay, the domain and the range. Okay, so hahanapin po natin yung relationship ng dalawang set sa isa't isa. Okay? And then si function naman by parang by pointing out what kind of relation is that or the ordered pair, malalaman po natin kung yung ordered pair po ba or yung given po ba is a function or not. Okay? Lagi lang po nating tatandaan na kapag sinabi po nating function, kailangan po si domain po and range is connected to each other. Wherein, for each value in the domain, okay, bawat isang value po sa domain, kailangan po meron po siyang isa lang. Or there is a corresponding exactly one value sa range. Okay, ulitin ko ha. Isang domain, isang range. Ganun po siya. Or dalawang domain, isang range. Basta for every element na makikita natin kay domain, dapat yung corresponding value niya or the corresponding element niya on the other set, which is the range, is exactly one lang. So more than that, hindi na po siya natin matatawag na function. And usually, we are representing a function by this equation. So, y is equal to f of x. So, lagi pong tandaan na si y po at saka si f of x, iisa lang po yan. So, it doesn't matter on how we're going to write it. As long na alam nyo po na pareho po sila, it's okay. Okay, so lagi nyo pong tandaan na si y at si f of x is pareho lang. Okay? Tapos, on function also, meron pa tayong tinatawag na si y na dependent variable and then si x po, independent variable. So marami tayong words na ginagamit for us to for us to differentiate the two sets na sinasabi ko kanina. Okay, kanina ginamit natin na word which is the domain and the range. Dito naman we use x and y and representing ng y is the dependent variable while the x is the independent variable. Okay? So, sir, saan dyan yung domain? Saan dyan yung range? So, kapag sinabi nating independent variable mga bata, ito rin yung tinatawag natin na domain ng function. Okay? So, ibig sabihin po niyan, si x po, si independent variable, tsaka si domain, iisa lang po sila. Okay? Or pareho lang po sila ng ibig sabihin po. Okay? Ganon din naman po si range. So, pag sinabi natin range, so this is a corresponding value for the dependent variable. Okay? So, iisa lang din po yung tawag natin sa y, sa dependent variable, tsaka kay range. So, silang tatlo po, pare-pareho lang po. Okay? So, wag tayo madilito kung ano man yung tawag natin sa kanila. Okay? And always remember mga anak, na kapag sinabi nating function, ito lang po dapat ang lagi nyong nasa isip. For every input or for every domain, kailangan meron lang siyang corresponding unique output or unique range. Okay, so later on, teacher will give you an example po para po mas ma-visualize, para po mas maintindihan po natin. Okay? So, yung relation po, meron po tayong types. We have four types of relations. Okay, the first type of relations is a one-to-one correspondence. The second one is many-to-one, or no, no, it's one-to-many correspondence. Yung pangatlo po pala yung many-to-one correspondence. And then the last relation is the many-to-many correspondence. Okay, ulitin ko po ha. We have four types of relations. We have one-to-one correspondence, we have the one-to-many correspondence, we have the many-to-one correspondence, and lastly, the many-to-many correspondence. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin sila. Sir, paano natin ma-differentiate yung different types of relations? Okay. So, unahin natin sa unang example na ito. So, let's determine if these ordered pairs can represent a function. Or by just giving this ordered pairs sa inyo anak, masasabi nyo ba agad na ito ay function, ito ay hindi function? Okay, by the help of the types of relations, we are able to make it easier. Okay, easier for us to determine if this ordered pairs is a function or not. Pero sir, paano natin yan gagawin? Okay, so ang gagawin po natin dyan is we're going to make a table. So we will be separating the domains of the ordered pair and the range ng ordered pair. So una pong ginawa ni teacher is nilista po niya lahat ng domain. Okay? Then nilista po ni teacher lahat ng range. Okay, so lahat po ng makikita nyo po dito kay domain is makikita nyo lang din po dito kay ordered pair po sa taas. Okay? So after natin siya masulat on table, so mas maganda na po yung visualization natin, ang gagawin po natin is we're going to look for their corresponding range. So isa-isang domain, hahanapin natin ngayon kung sino dyan yung mga corresponding range nila. Like for letter A, it corresponds with x squared. The square root of 2y is for 1 over z. The 13 is for 2d. And lastly, Q is for ST. So kung mapapansin niyo mga anak, kada isang domain, meron lang siyang particular or there's a unique range for each domain. Okay? So isa-isa lang. So is si A kay X squared lang and so on and so forth. So this example mga anak, okay. So masasabi natin siya na this is a one-to-one correspondence. Okay, sir, bakit nasabing one-to-one? Again, ibig sabihin po ng one-to-one, isang domain, isang range. Sa bawat isang domain, meron lang isang particular na range. So that is a one-to-one correspondence. The question is one-to-one a function? Okay. Yes. So, si one-to-one po is a function based on the definition itself. Na kung saan daw masasabi nating function ang isang equation ng isang ordered pair kapag meron po siyang exactly one element or one value po, unique value sa range. Iisa lang po. Okay? Since ganun po ang pinapakita ng ordered pairs na ito, si one-to-one po ay masasabi natin na function. Okay? Nagkakaintindihan po ba? Si one-to-one is also a function. Okay? Next example, ayan. So, determine naman natin kapag ganito si ordered pair. We have the Philippines to Manila, Indonesia to Jakarta, Thailand to Bangkok, Indonesia, Bali. Let's say if this ordered pair can represent a function. Okay, just like what I did on the example number 1, una po natin gagawin is to list down all the domains, list down all the range. Pero kung kanina, napansin niyo walang naulit, dito po sa second example, may naulit po. And sir, how we're going to deal ourselves kapag po meron pong ganyang mga scenario? Okay, unang-una, isahanapin natin lahat po ng domain. So si Philippines, that is the first domain. Indonesia, the second domain. Thailand is the third domain. And as you can see, naulit po si Indonesia. So once po na meron pong naulit kay domain, merong naulit kay range. Okay, isusulat lang po natin siya ng isang beses. Okay, kahit gaano pa po yung kadami. Okay, let's say 5 beses po naulit si Indonesia. It doesn't matter. Okay, isang beses lang po natin siya isusulat. Ganon din po kay range. Kapag po may naulit kay range, okay, isang beses nyo lang din po siya isusulat. Okay. On this example naman, wala naman pong naulit sa range. So we have Manila, we have the Jakarta, the Bangkok, and the Bali. Okay? So yan na po lahat ng range. Now, the next step that we're going to do is, again, hahanapin natin yung mga corresponding range for each domain. So for the Philippines, we have the Manila. For Indonesia, we have the Jakarta. Okay, for Thailand, we have Bangkok. And for Indonesia again, we have Bali. Okay? Ano naman mga anak ang napansin nyo ngayon dito sa example natin? Kasi kanina, one to one, as in, isang domain, isang range. How about for this one? Okay. Sabi ni Miss Banaag, this is one to many. Okay. Paano mo anak na sabing one to many?
Po yung sa domain po, isa lang. Dalawa po yung range.
Okay, perfect. So, since isa lang po kasi yung domain natin, which is the Indonesia, tapos dalawa po yung sakop niya na range, therefore, this example is a one-to-many correspondence. Okay? And si one-to-many po ba is a function? Masasabi ba nating function kapag one-to-many correspondence? Priscilla?
Sir, hindi po.
Bakit anak hindi natin masasabing function ito?
Kasi ang function po is one-to-one lang.
Okay? So, ang function po kasi is one-to-one lang. Okay? Meron pa po bang idadagdag? Magdadagdag po dun sa sinabi ni Priscilla? Bakit kaya hindi natin siya masasabing function? Okay. Si one-to-many... Oh, yes, Trixie?
Sir, try lang po.
Okay.
Sir, ang alam ko po kasi kapag one to many po, basta as long as yung domain po, isa lang, pero yung range, dalawa, okay lang siya. Pero pag many to one po, yun po ata yung masabi ko na hindi siya okay.
Okay. So, sabi ni Trixie, kapag one-to-many, we can call it a function. Kapag many-to-one po, yung hindi po. Okay? So, explain ni teacher yung part ko. Okay, kanina po, one-to-one, we can call it also a function. Simply because for each domain, meron lang siyang specific one range. Paano pa ganito yung scenario? Isang domain, dalawa yung range. Again, by the definition ng function, for each element in domain, there should be exactly one element in the range. But on this scenario, hindi lang isa yung element niya sa range, kundi dalawa. So therefore, one-to-many is not a function. Okay? So hindi natin masasabing function ito dahil dalawa po yung range na corresponding dun sa iisang domain lang. Okay? So ganun po siya. Maliwanag po ba tong one-to-many? Okay, ulitin ko mga anak ha. Pag one-to-many, hindi siya function. Simply because dalawa yung sakop na range. Kailangan kasi anak laging isa lang. It doesn't matter kung ilan yung domain, basta kailangan exactly one lang yung correspondence nila sa range. Excuse me. Okay. How about on this example? So let's determine if f of x is equal to 3x squared represent a function. Okay, paano po pag ganito po yung given? So meron tayong equation. Binigyan kayo ni teacher ng equation. The question is, how we're going to determine if this equation is a function or not. Okay, binigyan ko na kayo ng value ng x. Ayan siya. So these are the value of x na magagamit po natin for the equation. So what we're going to do is to find first what is the value of f of x. Or kung ano yung mga values na makikita nito natin kay y. Okay? So kapag daw po ba si negative 2 ginawa nating x, ano pong magiging value ng f of x? Okay, kapag si negative 2, ginawang value ng x, ano ang magiging resulta? Parang yung explanation lang yun ni teacher. Pag nag-input tayo ng negative 2, o ano yung magiging output? Anyone? Substitute nyo lang anak yung negative 2 kay x.
Sir, f of negative 2 po ba?
Yes po. So, paano ko po kapag si x is negative 2 or that is f of negative 2? Okay, Lindsay Hardin says it's 12 po with a question mark. Bukod po sa 12, meron pa po bang ibang answer?
Sir, substitute ko lang po ba?
Yes. Lindsay, binawi niya, it's negative 12 po. Sheila, yes, Sheila, that is f of negative 2. So, substitute nyo lang anak yung negative 2 kay x. Okay. Trixie Urbano show her solution. So, 3 times the quantity of negative 2 squared. Okay, so what's the final answer? Is it positive 12 or negative 12? Okay. For this example, anak, umpisa ni teacher ha. So the answer here is positive 12. Meron po bang nakakaalam kung paano po ito naging positive 12? Or would you like teacher to elaborate kung paano 12? Explain ko pa po ba? Okay, sige. Explain ni teacher kung paano niya nakuha si positive 12. Okay. Ang gagawin lang po natin is isa-substitute lang po natin yung negative 2 kay x. Ibig sabihin po, lahat po ng makikita natin na x kay equation, papalitan lang ng negative 2. So we have the f of x is equal to 3x squared. Therefore, magiging f of negative 2 siya. Tama naman po kayo doon. And then si x po dito, magiging negative 2 din. And then we don't have, please, don't forget the exponent. Now, ang gagawin niyo po muna dyan is the PEMDAS rule, which is uunahin natin si exponent na negative 2 squared. And obviously naman, once na nag-i-squared po tayo ng negative numbers, ang magiging resulta po niyan lagi is positive. So negative 2 times negative 2, that is positive 4. And 3 times 4, and that is 12. So f of negative 2 is equal to 12. So this is the final answer. Kaya po tayo nagkaroon ng 12 dyan. Okay? So malinaw na po ba?
Sir, bakit nawala yung exponent?
Anak, mawawala si exponent kasi po sinimplify po natin siya. Okay? Ang ginawa kasi natin, anak, is inuna po natin is-solve po ito. Si negative 2, tapos yung exponent niya na 2. Kapag ganyan, pag ganyan kasi anak yung scenario, ibig sabihin yan, you will be multiplying negative 2 by itself. So that is negative 2 times negative 2, kaya po the simplest form is positive 4. Okay? Yes.
Yung exponent ko kunwari po yung exponent niya.
Okay.
Tapos po yung,
So, kunyari,
hindi akala po sa multiple. Sarili niya.
Okay. So, ang question niya is, paano sir kapag ang exponent po is 3? Same pa din ba ng value which is negative 2? Tama ba ako ng pagkakarinig? So, for example daw, negative 2 pa rin si x, yun nga lang yung exponent niya is 3. Ibig sabihin yan, anak, you're going to multiply negative 2 tatlong beses. Okay? So, negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 mo siya. Ganun po yung mangyayari dito. Kung ilang beses nyo, kung ilang number or kung ano yung power mo or kung ano yung exponent mo, ganong beses mo siya i-multiply sa sarili niya. And once po na si negative 2 po is naka-cube, the answer will be negative 8. Kasi po yung exponent natin is add number. So kapag add number po tapos negative po yung nasa loob po ng parenthesis natin, automatic po the answer will be negative. Okay? May question pa po ba? Okay, wala naman na. Okay, next one. How about kapag negative 1?
Positive 3 po.
Positive 3. So sabi ni Yvonne, sabi ni Trixie Urbano, kapag daw po si negative 1, that is positive 3, and that is correct. So same process lang din po ng gagawin natin. Substitute muna natin. Tapos si negative 1, multiply sa sarili. Then tsaka natin i-multiply sa coefficient which is 3. Kaya po positive 3 yan. Paano naman po pag positive 1? Ano kaya
Negative po.
negative?
Positive 3 pa din po.
Okay, sabi ni Yvonne, positive 3. May nagsabing negative. Is it Bernardino?
Yes po.
Negative ano, anak?
Negative 3 po.
Okay, negative 3. So, meron tayong dalawang sagot. Si Yvonne, ang sabi 3. Si Bernardino, negative 3. Or maybe some of you, nahihiya lang magsabi, ganun din yung answers ninyo. Okay, for us to know kung ano po talaga yung magiging answer, try natin i-solve. Okay? So, we have here the f of 1 is equal to 3 times 1 squared. So, unahin natin to. So, positive 1 times mo yan sa sarili niya na positive 1, that is positive 1. So, positive 1 times 3, 3. So, ibig sabihin po, ang f of 1 is positive 3 po. Okay? So, 3 pa din po yung magiging answer natin. Okay po, Bernardino?
Okay po.
Wag tayong mamamali talaga. Kasi, hindi ko naman sabing wag kayong mamali. But we need to be particular po sa signs. Kasi po isang mali lang po ng sign, lahat na po yun madadamage. Or lahat ng buong solution po ninyo, mababaliwala po. Just because of the sign. So we need to be particular doon sa sign na gagamitin po natin. Okay? Last question. Paano kapag 2?
Positive 12 po.
Okay. So, positive 12 kapag ang value ng x natin is 2. The question is, what type of relation is this? Ano kayang relation ito? Any guess? Sulat ko ha. So, we have negative 2, we have negative 1, positive 1, and then positive 2. Naulit si 12, isulat lang natin siya ng isang beses. Naulit din si 3, isusulat lang natin siya ng isang beses. Okay. Pagtatapatin ko. Now, what kind of correspondence is this? Or what type of relation is this example? Many to? Many to 1 po. Okay. Paano masasabi, o paano nyo nasabing many to 1? Go Braga. Miss Braga, go ahead.
Kasi po, ma'am, sa range po, ay,
Go Miss Braga. You can do that.
kasi po kada dalawang ano po, meron po siyang meron po siyang isang range po. Kada
Oh,
dalawa.
okay. So, ah, okay, so sabi ni Miss Braga, meron daw po kasi dalawang domain, tapos yung dalawang domain na yon correspond only on one range. Kaya po niya nasabing many to one, which is correct. So this example is a many to one correspondence. Okay? O, ang tanong pang isa, kapag many to one po ba, function o hindi? Function po ba kaya si many to one? Dalawa yung domain, pero iisa lang yung range. Okay. So many to one also, mga anak, is a function. So just like what I said, it doesn't matter how many domain you have, at least. Okay? Basta ang mahalaga, meron lang po silang iisang value sa range. And on this scenario, meron tayong dalawang domain, dalawang values sa domain, tapos isa lang yung range nila. Okay, so okay lang po yun. So a many-to-one correspondence is a function. Okay, so recap lang, one-to-one correspondence is a function. One-to-many correspondence, not a function. Many-to-one correspondence, function. Lastly, we have here the many-to-many correspondence. Okay, so on this example, if we're going to determine if f of x is equal to the square root of x, can represent a function, and by having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the value of x, and then makukuha natin na f of x is 2, 1, 2, 4, and 7. So this is a many-to-many correspondence. Okay, si many-to-many naman po, kung nakita nyo naman, may word na many dun sa pangalawa or yung many dun sa range, ibig sabihin po neto na si many-to-many po is hindi function. Okay? Ibig sabihin, sa apat na types ng relation, dalawa doon function, dalawa hindi. Okay. So recap tayo ulit. Alin sa apat na function yung alin sa apat na types ng relation yung function?
One to one po at saka po yung many to one.
Okay.
One po, saka
Okay, very good. It's one to one, many to one. Alin naman ang hindi function?
One to one
One
and
to
many to
many
many.
tapos many to many.
Uh, okay, very good, children. So that is one to many and many to many. So feeling ko naman you already mastered what is the difference of function and relation, and kung ano ba yung kaugnayan nila sa isa't isa. So let's try a easy round exercise. Okay? All you have to do is to tell me if the following sets of ordered pairs is function or not. Siyempre, since na-topic na rin natin si types of relation, sasama nyo na rin siya. Okay? Hold on. Okay, let's start with letter A. Si letter A. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Is this a function or not? May nagsagot. 1 to 1. Ay, not. Sorry, sorry. Hold on. Ubo lang ako. Okay, sabi ni Christian sa bangin, letter A is not a function. Meron pa po bang sasagot? Sabi naman ni Yvonne, this is a function. Okay, may iba pa po ba? Okay, Urbano. Okay, function, function. Okay. Okay. So si letter A po is a function. Okay. Very good. Para dun sa mga nakasagot ng function. Dun naman sa hindi, okay lang po yan. Try pa rin po natin sa susunod. Okay? So, function si letter A. Anong type ng relation naman kaya ito? One to one? Question mark? One to one po? Okay, one to one. Okay. Very good, everyone. This example is a one to one correspondence. So, yan, perfect. So, nakukuha nyo na siya. Another one. How about letter B? Is this a function or not? Not, sabi ni Bernardino, ni Sabangan. Okay, not. Halos lahat, not. Okay. Function, sabi ni Priscilla. Okay. Letter B is still a function po. Sir, bakit naging function? Kung titignan nyo mga anak, si 1 po kay 1 lang, si 2 kay 2 lang, si 3 kay 3 lang, tapos si 4 kay 4 lang. So, ibig sabihin, this is a function. Anong klaseng relation naman po ang meron sa kanilang dalawa? Perfect. So, we have the one-to-one correspondence. Okay, very good. So, nakukuha na nila. How about letter C? Yung letter C kaya, is this a function or not? Not, sabi ni Joella. Baya, tiga mo ako, ano oras ako matatapos? Monday, pinakadulong schedule. 3 ano? 3:20? Okay, so not. So, letter C is not a function. Very good. Bakit hindi siya function? Inubo ako. Bakit kaya hindi siya function? Anong type siya ng relation? One to many to one to many, one to many. Okay? So, hindi siya one to many, hindi rin siya many to one. Okay? This example is not a function. Okay, tama naman po kayo dun lahat. Pero, hindi po siya one to one, hindi rin po siya many to one. Okay? This example is a many to many correspondence. Bakit po? Illustrate ni teacher. So we have a domain of 1, 0, -1, then 0. So si 0 na ulit ng isang beses. So dalawa na siya. So isusulat lang natin is 1, 0, tas -1. Sa range naman po natin, we have we have 0, 1, 0, tas -1. Again, si 0 na ulit. So susulat lang natin siya ng isang beses. So pagtatapatin ko sila ngayon. Si 1 kay 0, si 0 kay 1, si -1 kay 0, si 0 kay -1. Kung mapapansin ninyo mga anak, yung 1 tsaka -1 correspond only with one range, which is 0. Yun nga lang, si 0 naman dito, correspond siya sa dalawang range, which is 1 tsaka -1. Kaya po, masasabi po natin na this example is many to many. Kasi hindi natin pwedeng sabing one to many. Kasi sinasabi dito na, na pwede rin siyang many to one. Since dalawa yung domain, isa yung range. hindi rin natin siya pwedeng sabihin many to one. Kasi po, pag sinabi nating many to one, dalawa yung domain, isa yung range. Meron pong pinapakita na 0, isang domain, dalawa yung range. So, this is a many-to-many correspondence. Okay? So, at least you already know how. Isang tingin lang, alam nyo na agad kung function o hindi. Di ba? Last number. Okay, letter D. Is this a function or not? Si letter D kaya, function o hindi? Okay, sabi ni Bernardino, not function. Not. Sabi ni Braga, it's a function. Function. Okay. So, tignan natin kung ano ba ang sagot. So, this is a function. Now, tama, function siya. Ano naman kayang type ng correspondence or what type of
Many to
relations?
one po.
Yes, Braga?
Many to one.
Okay. So, letter D is many to one. So, mahusay. Bakit sir? Bakit naman naging many to one? Kasi si negative 2 tsaka si positive 2 correspond with 4. Diba? Tapos si negative 1 tsaka si 1 correspond with 1. So, ibig sabihin nun, dalawang domain, isa lang yung range, so that is a many to one correspondence. So, very good everyone na na-master nyo na agad kung ano ang relation and kung ano po yung function. So, ito pong ginagawa natin ngayon is to help, okay, people like us to determine immediately. Parang meron na agad tayong isang sagot agad, isang tingin pa lang natin kung ang given ba na ordered pairs, given ba na equation is a function or not. Okay? Ito pa lang po yung isa sa mga paraan. Okay? Meron pa pong isa, which is, mamaya pa pala yun. Magko-conclusion pa pala ako. So, yung isa pang paraan pala dyan is the vertical line test. Okay, so after nitong conclusion ko, so teacher will discuss it na. So conclusion lang po about the function and the relation. Hindi lahat ng relation function. Okay, dalawa lang po doon yung masasabi nating function, which is the one-to-one and then the many-to-one. Pero, lahat po ng function is relation. Okay, tandaan nyo yan ha. Lahat ng function relation, pero hindi lahat ng relation function. Now, last definition, always remember that for each element of X, there should be one element of Y. So, yan po yung for function and for relations. Now, let's proceed on the next one, which is the vertical line test. Okay, si vertical line test po is ginagamit din po natin na paraan or this is another method para po malaman natin kung ang graph naman po. Okay, kapag po is graph, malalaman po natin kapag si graph po ba ay function or not. Okay? Sir, paano natin malalaman yon? A set of points kasi dun sa x and y, so we have a Cartesian plane. So, magagraph tayo doon. Okay? We will be going to graph a function if and only if, or masasabi natin, yung graph is a function kapag si vertical line test po, okay, mag-i-intersect lang po siya sa iisang point. Okay? Kailangan magtatama daw po si graph tsaka si vertical line sa iisang point lang. Okay? Kapag sumobra, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya function. Okay, parang kagaya lang din kanina. Kapag isang range, function. Kapag more than one, not function automatic na po. Okay, so ganun lang din po dito sa paggamit ng vertical line test. So teacher will show you some graph kung paano po ginagamit si vertical line test. Ayan. So yan po yung mga example po ng paggamit ng vertical line test. So unahin natin dito yung unang-unang graph, which is this one. So itong graph na to, this is a quadratic function. Okay, a parabola that opens upward. And mapapansin ninyo, yung color orange, that is the vertical line. Ngayon, kahit saan ako dyan maglagay ng vertical line, okay, kahit saan kong gusto, okay, mapapansin pa din natin na sa iisang point lang po yan sila magtatagpo or sa iisang point lang po sila mag intersect. Kapag ganun po ang nangyari, therefore, this graph is automatic a function. Okay? Dito naman po sa pangalawa, okay, I think you're already familiar with this graph. This is a normal distribution curve. Okay? So, kahit saan ulit ako dyan maglagay. Okay? Sa negative side, sa positive side, kahit saan ako dyan maglagay, sa iisang point pa din po kami mag intersect. Okay? So, kapag ganun ulit nangyari, that is also a function. Dito naman sa pangatlo, it looks like a semicircle. Okay, it looks like a protractor. And then kahit saan po ako ulit maglagay ng vertical line, okay, sa iisang point pa din po yan sila magkikita. So kapag ganito po yung example, hindi ko sinasabing eto na po yung lahat but this is just the example that I can give you for vertical line test. Okay, masasabi siyang function. Paano sir kapag ganito yung may encountered namin? Of course, example nito, circle yung circle po yung graph. Ngayon, nag-drawing ako or naglagay na ako ng vertical line test. So, sa vertical line test ko, wait lang mga anak. Okay, sa vertical line test ko, mapapansin ninyo, sa circle, meron pong dalawang points na pinag-intersect, which is yung nasa quadrant 1, yung nasa taas, and then yung quadrant 4. Ito siya. Itong quadrant 1, kasi quadrant 4. Ngayon, since dalawa po yung pinag-intersect po niya, dalawang points po yan, hindi po natin siya masasabi na function. So this example or this graph is not a function. Okay? Ganon din po dito sa kabila. Ito siya. So mukha lang din siyang parabola but the opening is on the right. So kapag naglagay din tayo dyan ng vertical line, kahit saan dyan, dalawang points din po yung pag-i-intersect nila. And again, kapag ganun po yung scenario, ibig sabihin po, hindi po siya function. Okay? So, yan po yung gamit ni vertical line sa pag-alam kung ang graph po ba is function o hindi. Okay? So, marami pa pong klase ng graph. We have linear, we have polynomial. So, marami pa pong itsura ng graph. Kayong hindi pa nakikita dito sa example natin. Pero at least you already have the idea once you encounter different kind of graph and you want to know if it is a function or not, you can use the vertical line test to determine kung ang graph ba ninyo is a function or not. So, ganun lang po siya kadaling gamitin. Okay? Do you have question, Germanium? May tanong po ba kayo?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, maliwanag naman po yung pagkaka-discuss po natin. Naintindihan po ba?
Opo.
Yes
Okay.
po.
So, very good everyone. So, hindi ko na siya papasagutan sa inyo, itong exercise na to. So, wait for my post doon sa Google Classroom po natin. Then, tsaka lang po tayo magsasagot. Just wait for my announcement ha, bago nyo po sagutan yung module po na binigay ko sa inyo. Okay, now, for your assignment, since we don't have time na, kasi hanggang 3:20 lang tayo, So for your assignment, everyone, so please study about the domain and the range of the function. Okay? And isa pa pala na aaralin ninyo is the evaluating of function, which is nandun naman na sa module. Okay? So, didiscuss lang ni teacher ng pahapyaw kung anong yung domain, ano ba yung range, at para at least you already have a background pagdating natin dun sa mga rational, linear, exponential, tsaka logarithmic function. Alam niyo na kung ano yung domain and range.